Evening. I would like to call this meeting to order. Can I get approval of the agenda, please? Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Dennis, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Yes. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. The next agenda item on the list is announcements and recognitions, please.
Today was the start of the district-wide intermediate track meet at the high school track. The event continues tomorrow from 9:30 to 1:30 at the high school. Come on out and support our youth athletes. The boys tennis team is in subsectionals today in Lake Geneva. Winners today will advance to sectionals in Madison this Thursday. We were so excited to learn about the high school master plan from Beloit 2020. We have asked Beloit 2020 to offer information sessions for our families, students, and community to also learn more about the master plan for the high school campus. Therefore, there will be an information session for the community from 5 to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, May 30th in the Beloit Memorial High School Theater. There will also be a session at 4 p.m. that day specifically for faculty and staff. Our high school orchestra is hosting a brat sale, bake sale, car wash from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, June 3rd. Proceeds will benefit the high school orchestra program. Get your car washed while you enjoy lunch and dessert, all for a good cause. Todd Elementary School will host its annual school carnival from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, June 3rd. There will be lots of activities for the whole family, and this event is open to the community. We will honor and celebrate retirees at an open house from 2 to 4 p.m. on Sunday, June 4th at the Ironworks Hotel. 7 retirees will be recognized for their service to the district. We hope you will join us in celebrating the work and years of the service of the employees. It's our favorite time of the year when we get to celebrate the accomplishments of the students. Commencement ceremonies will be held at 10 a.m. on Saturday, June 10th at the Jacobson Field. In the event of inclement weather, the ceremony will be moved to the Barkin Arena. Our annual summer food service kickoff event will take place 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Wednesday, June 14th in the Beloit Memorial High School Field House. The event is free and open to the public. There will be lots of activities, bounce houses, raffle prizes, informational booths, giveaways, and free lunch. Please note that there will be no school and all offices will be closed on Monday, May 29th in honor of Memorial Day. Thank you. This concludes this evening's announcements.
Thanks, Wendy. Okay, the next item on the agenda is recognitions.
Good evening. We have a number of recognitions tonight. When I call your names or your group name, if you could come and stand in front of the smartboard to be recognized, that would be fantastic. The first group we are recognizing are our spelling bee winners. So we have 3 students. Andrew, help me with your last name. Is Andrew here? Andrew, he's not here. Kafanunchu? Did you hear that? Okay. Andrew was the 3rd place winner in the spelling bee. The 2nd place winner was Delvin Champion, a 4th grade student at Aldridge Intermediate. Delvin, come on up here. And I should add that Andrew is a 5th grade student at Cunningham Intermediate. And our 1st place winner was Sarah Ramsden from Fruzen Intermediate School, where she is a 5th grader. Any family want to take a picture? Thank you, guys. After recognitions, I'll meet you in the hallway and take a group picture. The second group that we are recognizing tonight is a team of students from Beloit Memorial Beloit Memorial High School under the leadership of Terry Schindler. So Terry, if you want to come forward. The Beloit Police Department are crediting a new partnership with 3 Unlikely People for their newest tool to help keep our community safe. Welding students at the high school have recently finished their biggest and most important project yet. Students worked together to create a prescription drug drop-off box in their welding class under Terry's direction. The box now sits near the entrance of the Beloit Police Department, but it benefits the entire community by providing a safe way to dispose of prescription drugs and keep them out of the wrong hands. The police department had challenges in the past with the old box, and it was time for a new one. Our students addressed that problem and solved that. So we are very excited to recognize Kevin Celestino, Logan Crum, Gavin Fisher, and their teacher, Mr. Terry Schindler. Would you like to say anything? Next, the school district of Beloit was very fortunate this year to have 3 recipients of the 2017 Herb Cole Award. First, we have 2 students who were selected to receive the Initiative Scholarship. Recipients of this award were chosen by their school for demonstrating exceptional initiative in the classroom and showing strong promise for succeeding in college. But here's the deal. The Herb Cole Foundation announced that they are doubling that award. So the students thought they were getting $3,000 and they're getting $6,000. Is that correct? So pretty exciting. So tonight we would like to publicly recognize Stephanie Canales. And Jordan Groth. Is Jordan here? No? Stay up here for just a second, Stephanie. In addition to that, the Herb Cole Foundation also awards a fellowship to an exceptional educator, and we are very fortunate that Terry Guile received this award. Is Terry here tonight? Awesome. Terry has been chosen as an educator for her superior ability to inspire a love of learning in all of her students. She has a great ability to motivate others and has leadership and service within and outside of the classroom. We just learned that Terry, their awards were also doubled. So Terry received a $6,000 fellowship, and the school that she works at, which is Todd Elementary School, also received a $6,000 grant. We're very proud of you. Congratulations. Next, we will recognize our 2017 high school yearbook staff. So if I could have all of the students here who are on high school yearbook staff come forward. And they are under the direction of Miss Amanda Celine, who is passing out yearbooks to our board members. This is very exciting. We didn't know we would have them.
They just came in, so hopefully all the students will remember they are not in yet until next week.
So students, don't get excited.
No.
These are not for you yet. But I'm sure the board members will let you sign their books after the meeting. So we're so excited because each year a dedicated group of students. Do you have students here tonight?
None of them were able to make it tonight.
That's because they're so busy working on school stuff, right? For sure. But this dedicated group of students work together to produce the high school yearbook, and a significant amount of hours inside and outside the classroom go into producing this. And so we want to recognize all of the yearbook staff from this year. And so here are their certificates if you'd like to give them to them. Awesome. We appreciate you guys greatly. At this time, the district would also like to recognize former board member Nora Gard. Nora served 2 terms, that's 6 years, as a member of the Board of Education. And as a board member, She served in several capacities, including clerk and vice president. Nora was an active member of a number of committees, including the Equality Committee, Curriculum Committee, and the Policy and Personnel Committee, of which she served as chair. On Policy and Personnel, she served as chair and championed the initiative to review all organizational policies, of which there were over 1,000. She did great work for the school district. We're very appreciative of her. And she served as a rep on many local and state entities. We'd like to recognize Nora Gard for her years of service to the district, so with a certificate and a little present. So we're very grateful. Thank you, Nora.
Before you begin, go ahead.
I just want to wish all of you the best, and I know all the work that goes into decision-making and discussions, and I'm not going to miss the 8 hours of meetings, but I am going to miss all of you and representing our community and our students and staff. Thank you.
Nora, I also want to give you this. This is a certificate actually from the Wisconsin Association of School Boards for your service here.
Oh, thank you.
So another gift. Thank you.
So I would be remiss if I didn't say it. I think I'm the longest serving person that served with her. And I think Dr. Johnson will agree with this. Well, first of all, I enjoyed serving with you, Nora Gard. But if there was anyone that knew policy, it was Nora. And she didn't have to look it up. She would rattle it off really quick. So we're going to miss your expertise, and best of luck. Mm-hmm.
And our last recognition for tonight is Yolanda Johnson. Yolanda has served as our student rep for the 2016-17 school year. She was elected by her peers at the high school. She serves as a liaison to the board, bringing information from the students about upcoming activities, highlights from past activities, as well as any concerns or hot topics that the students might have. Not only has Yolanda served in this capacity, she's also a scholar and a student athlete. The district would like to recognize and thank Yolanda for her year of service and dedication to the school board and to the students of the school district of Beloit. Join me in wishing Yolanda well. Yolanda, where are you going to college? UW-Madison. So awesome. Go Badgers.
I would also be remiss if I didn't say something about Yolanda. It has been a pleasure serving with you on the board. A very bright young lady, very respectful. You come from very good parents. And I know you're very bright because you picked UW-Madison over Ohio State.
Yolanda, I forgot, we also have a gift for you. Just to make you walk back down. For those of you who are leaving after recognitions, just make sure you do so quietly so the meeting can continue, and I'll meet anyone who was awarded out in the hallway to get a photo. Thank you.
So I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody that was recognized, to the spellers, keep spelling, to the police drop. That's a great project. We appreciate it community-wide. Scholarship, fantastic. Yearbook staff, thanks so much for the yearbook. We will get those signed. Nora, we're going to miss you. And Yolanda, I too, as a UW-Madison alum, am very happy you chose UW. So thanks for all your help this year. All right, so the next item on the agenda is citizen delegations. I am going to go with the assumption here that we have people who would like to speak. So I have a long legal thing that I need to read first, and then we will proceed with citizen delegations. So, members of the audience, the Board of Education is now at the place on the agenda where we will receive public comments from citizens or delegations on areas of interest that are not on the agenda. The Board of Education will generally not respond or act on items that are not on tonight's agenda. Appropriate items will be referred to administration or one of the board's committees. Citizens wishing to speak on one of the posted agenda items may do so as items are called by the board president. While the board and district welcomes public comments, we as a board also must ask that you exercise care in your comments that relate specifically to district employees or persons connected with the school system. In order to protect rights of these individuals and in the interest of complying with open meetings law on prior posting of items for consideration at this meeting, the board reserves the right to end comments on such topics. The use of specific names of district personnel may lead to legal liability on the part of the speaker. The board would also remind the public that the board has existing procedures in place to dispose of legitimate complaints against staff members and persons related to the system. Persons desiring to speak should come to the podium and give their name and address before beginning to speak. Each person is asked to speak no more than 3 minutes. I'm assuming because there's a line, there are people wanting to speak. I also want to take a minute to add, I understand that we have people who we have an interpreter for. For those individuals, we're going to allow 6 minutes, given the fact that clearly we've got to allow time for that to happen. So Chris is going to serve as timekeeper and sort of give you a little bit of warning when you're winding down. Okay? All right. First person, want to step on up? Thanks.
Muy buenas tardes, Comité del Distrito Escolar. Me dirijo a ustedes con mucho respeto. Mi nombre es Belsi Ramírez. Vivo en 745 Henry Avenue.
Good afternoon, committee. I speak to you with a lot of respect. My name is Belsi Ramirez, and I live in 745 Henry Avenue.
Este día vengo representando y siendo la voz de muchos padres de familia que tenemos hijos en las escuelas de Beloit.
Today I come representing and being the voice for many parents of families that have children in our Beloit schools.
Y como representante de padres de familia hispanos y latinos, me estaré basando en su póliza, donde dice que no se discrimina a los estudiantes por su raza, color o nacionalidad.
And as representatives of parents and of Hispanic and Latino families, I will be basing this on the policy where it says that you do not discriminate against students for their race, color, or nationality.
Como padres de familia, nos gustaría una información más clara y en nuestro idioma sobre la política de inmigración y de este nuevo presidente y saber cómo ustedes estarán trabajando.
As parents of families, we would like clearer information in our language over the policies of immigration of this new president and to know how you guys will be working.
Ya que hace algunas semanas recibimos una llamada dando aviso sobre el tema, el cual nos dejó confundidos y con más preguntas que respuestas. Por esa razón pido a ustedes, por favor, que nos manden por medio de cartas o llamadas en nuestro idioma por personas 100% bilingües.
A few weeks ago, we received a call giving advice over this topic, which left us confused and with more questions than answers. For this reason, I ask you to please send us written communication or call in our home language for people who are bilingual.
Ya que un robot no deja un mensaje claro, ni una persona que apenas habla español, cabe mencionar que aplaudo el esfuerzo de aquellos maestros o directores que tratan de hablar o comunicarse con nosotros, los padres hispanos y latinos, en español. Eso habla muy bien de ellos. Mas, sin embargo, si se trata de algo muy importante, preferiríamos que tomaran en cuenta que queremos entender y tener una información muy clara de lo que se trata de inmigración. Queremos que nuestros hijos y nosotros como padres sentirnos seguros y protegidos. Por eso dije al principio que me estaría basando en su póliza.
Given that a robot doesn't leave a clear message, nor a person that hardly speaks Spanish, it is worth mentioning that I applaud the efforts of those teachers and principals that try to speak or communicate with us as parents, Hispanic parents and Latinos, in Spanish. This is very well spoken of them. Sorry. But even when it's something very important, we prefer that they take into account that we want to understand and have very clear information. Related to immigration, we want our children and us as parents to feel safe and protected For this I said at the beginning that I will be basing this on your policy.
Otro punto importante que nos preocupa que aquellas personas bilingües que trabajan para el distrito escolar tengan más apoyo por parte de ustedes como comité del distrito. Porque esas personas, ya sean maestros o maestras, son nuestra voz delante de ustedes, ya que en la mayoría de nosotros no hablamos 100% de inglés. Nosotros les expresamos a ellos nuestros descontentos o quejas, las cuales ellos les informan a ustedes.
Another important point that worries us is that those bilingual people that work for the school district would have more support from you because these people who are teachers are our voice in front of you, given that the majority of us don't speak 100% English. We express to them our discontent or complaints, and they are the ones that inform you of those.
My name is Tatiana Carvajal, and I live at 1758 Windsor Court, and I'd like to get my 3 minutes over.
Como el comité del distrito, no queremos que ustedes los vean como mentirosos solo por no estar en ese momento con nosotros como padres hispanos o latinos al frente de ellos, y que ustedes no crean lo que ellos están diciendo sobre lo que nosotros les hemos dicho. Estos maestros o personas bilingües son nuestros intérpretes frente a ustedes y son maestros que necesitan más de su apoyo. Son excelentes personas ejerciendo su trabajo.
As the school board, we don't want you to see us as liars, only because in these moments, the Hispanic and Latino parents are facing them, and you guys, and you don't believe them. What they are saying about us. We have told these teachers or bilingual people that are our interpreters in front of you, and that are teachers that need more support and are excellent people doing their jobs.
También como padres exigimos que se nos trate con mucho respeto, ya que muchas veces llamamos a las escuelas por cualquier duda o pregunta y por no hablar un buen inglés nos tratan mal o simplemente nos ignoran.
Also, as parents, we ask that you don't that they don't treat us with much respect, given that sometimes we call the schools for whatever question, and given that we don't speak very good English, we ask not to be treated badly or to be ignored.
También como padres nos gustaría que las escuelas tuvieran personal 100% calificado para ejercer sus posiciones, desde secretarias de oficinas y maestros. Queremos que nuestros hijos se sientan cómodos y seguros en sus escuelas y que sean escuchados.
As parents, we would also like schools to have 100% qualified personnel for their positions, from secretaries to teachers. We want our children to feel safe and secure in their schools, and that they feel listened to.
Escuchados por sus maestros, y que cuando tengan algún problema tengan confianza de comunicarse con sus maestros, que pongan más atención sobre el tema del bullying y más cuando se trata de agresiones psicológicas, y que los maestros sean capaces de poder enfrentar esta situación y hablar con sus alumnos adecuadamente sobre cualquier situación, y que los niños se expresen sin miedo a nada ni a nadie.
Listened to by their teachers, and when they have a problem, that they can feel confident in communicating that to their teachers, that they give more attention to the topic of bullying and to psychological aggression, and that the teachers will be capable of facing these situations and speaking with students adequately over whatever situation, and that children can express without fear to no one and about nothing.
Otra de las cosas que nos preocupa es el cambio drástico en las escuelas con los niños de cuarto grado a las escuelas de grados más altos. Los niños dejaron de ser niños para creerse adolescentes. Su manera de pensar y vestir empezó a cambiar desde ese momento. Sería mejor que todo fuera como antes, escuela primaria, kinder a quinto o sexto grado.
Another thing that worries us is the drastic change in the schools with children in 4th grade, in the schools with older students, which has them leave their childhood to grow into adolescence. Their manner of thinking and dressing started to change from that moment. It would be better if everything was as it were earlier, primary school from kindergarten through 5th or 6th grade.
Y ya para terminar, queremos reconocer muchos de sus esfuerzos, como por ejemplo las clases bilingües.
And to end, we want to recognize very much the efforts that have been made. For example, bilingual classes.
Los programas como DLI y el programa ESL como segundo idioma, y que estos programas sigan funcionando en las escuelas con personas calificadas y 100% bilingües.
Programs like DLI and the ELL program that serve students who are learning English as a second language, that these programs can function in the schools with qualified people who are 100% bilingual.
Así, les damos un aplauso a todos aquellos maestros que se están forjando por un futuro mejor para nuestros hijos. Muchísimas gracias y que tengan buena noche.
And so we give thanks and applause to all those teachers that are working for a better future for our students. Much thanks.
My name is Ellen Joyce, 1134 Eaton Avenue, and I yield my 3 minutes to Jasmine Carbajal.
Patricia Soul, 1132 Brewster in Beloit, and I give my 3 minutes to Jasmine.
My name is Jasmine Carbajal, and I live at 2327 Wood Drive. I am here tonight as a leader of the Latinx community. I am the president of Council 341 of the League of United Latin American Citizens, also known as LULAC, and I also serve on the Quality Committee for the school district. There is an issue on how our school district communicates information in Spanish with our families. While I applaud the effort to increase communication, the steps taken to communicate with our families don't always relay understanding. There's a difference between a call made bilingually by a bilingual staff and a person that speaks Spanish or text to speech. The phone call made in Spanish about the school district's policy regarding immigration, if they were to show up in our schools, was not clear. It was a robotic voice that was hard to understand, and the speed of the actual message was too fast. It lacked the appropriate tone in a serious and fearful topic. It is vital that when calls are made, especially in pre-recorded messages, they be made by a human reader, not text to speech. It is also vital that you have a bilingual, bicultural individual review the content of the message. In the message that was sent out to our families, the words "recently aware" were used to describe the increase in immigration enforcement, which made it seem like there was another increase or wave of enforcement deportations in our community, which creates panic in our families. It should be clarified that as a district, you are now recently addressing the official district stance/position on the matter. It was addressed with legal terminology that did not create a sense of safety for many of our families. Another problem was the sending of the official letter. Not just our Latinx families, but all families in general don't have technological resources or printers or email addresses. Therefore, sending the official letter as an attachment via email was inappropriate. It should be a standard to communicate with all of our families, and the letter should have also been mailed out. Having our families printed or requested from the school district is unacceptable, especially when there's a language barrier and a lack of resources on the school district's part. When families try to reach bilingual personnel in the COLAC Center, parents have stated they have often need to leave messages, and then it can be days or weeks before they get a returned phone call. We hear a lot of the importance of recruiting teachers that look like the students that make up our schools. I agree that that is essential. However, I ask you this tonight. Is it not essential that our Latinx parents also have bilingual support staff in every school that can help them? Being bilingual is not the same as speaking Spanish. Our community applauds the efforts of those administrators, teachers, and staff that speak Spanish and try to use the skill to communicate. Yet, oftentimes there is still miscommunication because parents do not understand the Spanish individuals speak. When we are hiring individuals that speak Spanish, we need to test for proficiency in all four major skills: reading, writing, speaking, and comprehension, as well as ask for appropriate questions to ensure the person is culturally competent to be in a position where they will be working with our Latinx parents. The definition of bilingual by the Oxford Dictionary is speaking two languages fluently, and fluency along with proficiency are key. The district has great bilingual and multicultural teachers in many of our schools that have developed a trust with our Latinx parents. Many parents will reach out to these teachers and view them as a resource. Parents call the teachers to ask questions related to school events, classes. They reach out to them when their children might be having problems in school or when they are confused of our information being received from the district. There needs to be more support for these individuals that have a connection to our parents. Instead, as a community leader and older sister of current student in the district, I hear how administration mistreats them. They are not valued, and that is wrong. They are not only a resource and pathway to our Latinx parents and students, but they can serve as a great resource for the district. They can review content of messages being sent to our parents and offer suggestions. A bilingual speaker would have more than likely pointed out that the email and phone call that was sent out was not appropriate and lacked the tone to make our families feel supported by the district in these unknown times. Bilingual staff have been told not to interfere or advocate on behalf of our parents. I myself, as a community leader, have been told that unless complaints come straight from parents, there isn't anything administration can do. The reality is that our Latinx parents are trying to reach out. They reach out to those teachers that work directly with their students, the teachers they have built a trusting relationship with. Administration is endangering that trust when they ignore the teachers and or staff that come to them with messages or complaints from our Latinx parents. Now, the likelihood of ICE coming to our schools is minimal. In general, the Department of Homeland Security has explained that immigration enforcement actions may not occur at or in sensitive locations. Primary schools, secondary schools, and post-secondary schools are all defined in sensitive locations. However, if they do, then the district needs to have appropriate protocol in place to be transparent when informing the parents of such process. We need to make sure that our principals and staff are aware of what type of warrant ICE would have to have with them to make arrests. ICE agents must have prior approval from one of 4 directors at Homeland Security Investigations before entering a sensitive location. Therefore, part of the protocol should be verification from administration to make sure it is approved for ICE agents to be in our schools. We need professional development around this to truly have support for our students and families. 1/3 of our students are from Latinx backgrounds. It is not a matter of questioning what the needs are aside from teachers that look like them. It is time to make our Latinx population a priority. When I have brought up communication, translation / interpretation services, and support, I always get the same answer from administration: we are working on it. It is time to stop working on it and instead start taking action. It really is all about priorities, and from an outside point of view, the Latinx families are not a priority. We need more secretaries that are bilingual in each of our schools. The COLAC Center also needs more bilingual staff. Having one interpreter, translator is not enough when we have parents that are directed to call the COLAC Center. The time response in certain cases is not fast enough. Again, I applaud that there are efforts to increase communication, but we need to do it correctly and appropriately. As I finish my statement, and I do thank you for your time, I would like to end with the following. 1, I applaud that administration takes the steps to inform our Even Start parents about things that are going on in the district. Oftentimes when I have asked if events have been shared in Spanish and with the Latinx community, I get told that they are working and informing the Even Start parents, and that's great. However, many Latinx parents do not attend Even Start. The district needs to reach all the parents in their preferred language. There also needs to be more communication with organizations and programs additionally to Even Start that are also working with our Latinx parents. 2, I have mentioned many reasons why the increase of more bilingual and multicultural staff is important as finding Latinx teachers. There's a vital need for a language access policy that needs to have accountability for translation and interpretation services in our district. This is not just related to Spanish. There are other parents in the school district that have native languages other than Spanish. This might mean having a multicultural, multilingual team coordinating services with outside language companies. I emphasize the word team because having one person do all the coordination is not enough. And 3, I am holding the school board accountable in making sure that our equality committee for 2017-2018 has the responsibility of making sure this language access plan / policy happens and is implemented along with any other committee you see fit, emphasizing the participation of culturally competent and multilingual individuals. Now, I just want to give a perfect example. The door at the sign that says ring the doorbell to come in, nobody thought of translating that in Spanish. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michael Lorson, and I live at 3197 Bartels Avenue. I wanted to first thank the ladies that spoke earlier. Those are very important issues. As an educator and as a father of Latino children, I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to give the rest of my time to my wife, Rosa Maria.
My name is Rosa Maria Lorson, and I live at 3197 Bartels. I have 2 children that attend Robinson School in the dual language program. I am also the former program manager for the English Learners and Dual Language program here in the school district of Beloit. As an individual who started the dual language program in the school district of Beloit almost 5 years ago, at a time when the ratio of bilingual students to ESL teachers was 100 to 1, I wanted to take some time to communicate to the board the vision that had been in place for this program. Although I am saddened that I was not chosen to be the one to implement the changes I felt that were necessary, I am hopeful to see that the administration appears to be willing to move forward with these changes. First, I want to acknowledge the tremendous work put forward by the DLI and ELL staff within our district. Our students in these programs have done very well, and the staff has done an amazing job navigating and communicating with parents the unique dynamics of teaching in a bilingual setting. In many ways, they are the voice of the families in our district. Our teachers have never wavered in their advocacy for their students and their families, and this is paramount to a successful program. Secondly, I am pleased to see that this position has finally been elevated to directorship. The position oversees over 1,400 students and nearly 70 staff members, and these are just our English learners, not including all of our Latino students as well. And it is for these reasons that I began advocating for this change when the dual language program was started 5 years ago. I would also like to acknowledge the administration's consideration to expand the office itself to include support staff. This would allow the new director an opportunity to work out in the schools with the teachers in lieu of spending significant amount of time on state and federal compliance paperwork and standardized testing that comes along with serving English learners. Finally, I would like to outline the key points I put forward to administration regarding the growth and the direction of the dual language and ELL programs going forward. The first one, recruitment and retention. We have many talented individuals in our school district who are serving as paraprofessionals and as volunteers in some ways too, who are very interested in becoming teachers. However, there is no support for them to become teachers. We need to support them in obtaining their bilingual certifications and their teacher certifications. There needs to be an increase of bilingual teachers at the secondary level. At the high school, at the ratio right now, there's 200 students that need help, and there's 3 teachers. Also, recruiting from other places like Puerto Rico. Many districts across the country have done this over the past few years. A continuation with the visiting teachers from Spain program, and starting to look in other countries as well to recruit teachers. Incentive pay. The state of Wisconsin reimburses the district 7% of salary and benefits. And every time I would ask as to where those funds would go, I would always be told that they would go into the general fund. Professional development, specific to culturally responsive education and language development, such as cultural history and literature of Latino people. I am recommending a consultant out of the San Francisco State University who has presented at education workshops and conferences such as Harvard, Stanford, and Yale in the area of fostering resiliency in students as part of a culturally responsive and social justice education. Also, the curriculum and instruction specific to the needs of bilingual students versus attempting to adapt curriculum from the mainstream English classrooms that ill fit the dual language needs. And in literacy, focusing first on language, and this will be the foundation for improving bilingual and biliteracy skills across all demographics. I appreciate your time, and I am hopeful the district will move forward with the work to further improve the support available to our bilingual students in the school district of Beloit.
My name's Kathy Tobin. I live at 302 St. Lawrence in Janesville. I am a sixth grade teacher at McNeil. I am here to speak to you about healthcare benefits that teachers no longer receive. I turned 55 this year, and as you probably know, that's the age that a teacher can collect their retirement benefits from the state. It's time for me to go. I've known for a while that the stress, and demands of the job, I didn't think this would happen, has worn me out. I can't give that 110% that kids need anymore. So I am retiring. I'm here to ask you to consider giving back teachers their health care benefits that were once promised. If I was in Janesville right now, I would be getting 8 years of health care benefits. I'm trying to do the right thing. Staying because I need health care benefits would be wrong. I missed the 4 years of benefits by 1 year. Please reconsider these benefits or any other plan you might have in mind and make them retroactive for any teacher who is considering to retire this year. The last 2 months have been very difficult. The emotional roller coaster that has been extremely unpredictable. This is supposed to be a sad and a happy time, but it has been more than that. I've been disappointed, frustrated, scared, nervous, and sometimes a bit angry. These feelings seem to creep up when I start thinking about the benefits I was once promised and am now not getting. I remember voting for many, many pay freezes in exchange for health care benefits. At the time, I said to myself, this was the right thing to do. Now those promises have been broken. Your senior teachers need to have the options of leaving with dignity when they know it's time for some security to count on. Your younger teachers need to know that using their sick days can lead to exchanging for some health care benefits. Dr. Johnson, school board members, finance committee, and any others involved in this decision, no is not the answer. Other districts still have health care benefits for their teachers after they retire. Just because other jobs don't have this option doesn't mean we shouldn't. Don't take something away for the reasons others don't get it. Don't use budget problems as excuses to not give teachers what was once promised to them and that they deserve. Instead, say we need to do this and we must find a way to give teachers what was once promised to them as part of their retirement. Being fair is the right thing to do. The saying, life isn't fair, doesn't fit this situation. It only fits if you're trying to justify it. I appreciate the opportunity that I've had to teach in the school district of Beloit. Many great things have happened in my 31 years, and I'm sure there's more to come. I will be monitoring the situation and the progress of the retirement benefits and advocating for them. Thanks for your time, and I will miss being here in Beloit. Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Okay, I want to thank everybody for taking the time tonight to share their thoughts and experiences. We really appreciate it. I'm going to move on to the next agenda item, superintendent's report to the board.
This time we're going to have Mr. Bonds and Dr. Williams will come up in turn and present first from Mr. Bonds on the Academic Achievement Ad Hoc Committee, followed by Dr. Williams with an update on equity.
Good evening. And I will be brief. I just wanted to give the board an update on the ad hoc committee's progress. As you are aware, the board created or established an ad hoc committee in, I would say, December, in January. The purpose of the committee is to examine and recommend actionable items to close the achievement gap in the school district of Beloit. There are 4 pillars to this committee. We will focus, and have been focusing on academic achievement, parent, family, and community, leadership and instructional capacity, and learning environment. We are entering our 3rd phase for the committee. The first phase of the committee was to establish the purpose of the committee and team norms. The second phase, we focused on our data and telling the stories of each school. Each school principal has presented to the ad hoc committee, discussing the strengths, weaknesses, and challenges of each school. Really provide a lot of information for the committee. We are entering the 3rd phase, which is to focus on our current practices, including looking at best practices through research and identifying strategies and interventions to improve outcomes for kids. If you would like additional information, I would suggest everyone please look on our district website. You will see an icon there that says Ad Hoc Committee for Achievement. And I would be remiss not to encourage all families, please sign up your sons or daughters for summer school. We have improved our summer school programming. If we're talking about closing the achievement gap, one of the ways that we can do that is to continue the learning of our students. So please continue to sign students up if you have not done so. Thank you.
I have Mr. Bonds. So you're in phase 3 of the academic achievement gap study, and you all will be doing focus groups, right?
Yes.
Okay. And will one of those focus groups be on the Latino community?
Yes, it will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for this opportunity. One of the things, just a brief update on things that we've been focusing on this past month in the area of the equality and so forth. We were very excited about being able to respond to some of the concerns, especially from the Latino community. We're getting the immigration letter out. I'm very happy to hear some of the comments that you have heard tonight and concerns, so we will follow up with you and have an additional meeting to address some of those concerns that we heard here tonight. We partnered with Community Action to get 7 students in the WEOR program. That's the Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act program, the youth program for some of our students. We're very excited about that because with that comes an opportunity for them to get scholarships around $10,000 each. We've also had conversations for next year, so we're looking forward to having more students in that program that I will report that to you at that time. Our teacher recruitment efforts are ongoing, especially at this point in time, especially with the age of Act 10, where teachers can become a free agent. We are making sure that we're doing everything we possibly can to, one, recruit and retain our best and brightest teachers who are out there. We are very excited to start back meeting with the Diversity Ad Hoc Committee to talk about the Equity Retention and Recruitment Plan. Stay tuned for more information about that, and you're more than welcome to participate. We're also very excited, and we want to say thank you to all of our teacher honorees who were recognized on May 5th at our Night of Distinction. We want to say thank you to all the people who came. We had about 400 people who attended, and we also want to say thank you very much to all of our sponsors who worked and contributed many items to make that night a success. We had our Minority Scholars Banquet at the high school. We had probably close to 300 to 400 people in attendance and recognized several students for that, so we're very excited. We had the Rhythm of the Night program. Regina and Michelle Hendricks-Nora, they did an excellent job organizing that. It was a very nice program. We also want to thank our LULAC students for the gift baskets. As you recall, I reported a couple of months ago that they were raising money to give baskets to our homeless students, and they did that on last week, so we're very excited about that. Lastly, the Grow Your Own program that started off as an idea Now it has come to fruition. We actually gave out the first scholarship at the State Lion Community Foundation luncheon, so we're very excited about that. And our first recipient was Gustavo Badillo. Pending your questions, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Man, I'm troubled by the earlier comments, and so this is the area that we deal with it. You mentioned the diversity plan. You said the equity and retention plan, but also would encompass our diversity efforts, right?
Yes.
And I asked Mr. Bonds if there will be a focus group for the Latina community in constructing the new diversity plan, which I hope will be a multi-year plan, Dr. Johnson. Will there be a number of Latina at the table to help shape this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and those people are?
Actually,
she left.
She left. Okay, because she's a participant.
Okay, and so, is there anyone else?
I can't think of all their names, but I can provide that to the board.
Okay.
But there's a very diverse group of people who are at the table.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, in listening to the comments, I think in the category for Mr. Bonds it would be engagement, and based upon what I heard, there appears to be a disconnect, and I think that we need to drill down deep on that and address that issue. You said that you're working with the LULAC group, right?
LULAC.
Okay,
yes.
And so they are at the table as well, right?
Yes.
Both
LULAC councils.
Excuse me?
There's 2 LULAC councils here, and both of them at the table.
Okay. Do we also have Latino staff members who are already employed with the school district? Are they at the table?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so I won't ask you any more questions as it relates to the gap. I'm going to feel confident that you heard the message and that you all will fill that gap so that everyone will feel like they belong here at the school district of Beloit.
Yes, and if I may, I will also add that for those people who are interested in participating and view language as a barrier, we do have the equipment here, the translation equipment where people can participate.
Okay, and then the last comment that I had is during the presentation, I think she educated me on bilingual and bicultural, and so I think at some point the administration may want to educate the Board of Education so that we are aware too, because it starts at the Board of Education. It goes from administration, faculty and staff and students. I just want to make sure that everyone feel included. And I was surprised, I was pleased to know that a third of our students are Latina, and so we want to make them feel comfortable just like our white students, our African American students, and all students. Thank you, Dr. Williams.
Tracking.
Thanks, Dr. Williams. Those were great events. I was at all 3, and might I add, some very nice dance moves as well. All right, next agenda item is reports to the board. If I can have the student board member report, please.
Good evening. I would first like to begin talking about the state line scholarships that a lot of our students competed for. We received them about a week and a half ago, May 13th to be exact. There was a lot of stiff competition throughout all of the state line area, and I would like to first congratulate everyone who received one, everyone who applied, because I know that a lot of people worked hard to receive those scholarships. So thank you to all of the students who applied and everyone who got them. Congratulations. Next, Senior Awards Night is tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Well, I know I'm supposed to be there at 5:45, but 6 p.m. If anyone would like to attend, or if any of your students are a part of that ceremony, I would like to congratulate you. Also, good luck to our seniors. As we get closer and closer to graduation, I hope that everyone is rounding their grades up. I know senioritis is real, so I ask you to please hang in there because we are almost done.
Also, we are entering our tournament season for our spring sports, and I would like to personally wish everyone good luck. As I am a part of the track and field program, we competed last night at our regional track meet, and several of our athletes actually made it through to sectionals. So good luck to all of our athletes on our road to state. And that is all for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on, can I get the committee reports? So Finance and Transportation.
Finance and Transportation met on May 9th. Two items that are noteworthy. We approved the Aldrich Classroom and McNeil restroom renovations, so that's kind of exciting. And then we did get a 2017-18 budget update from the Budget Committee. We are still working out, we need to get some numbers on open enrollment, and we still have some things to work out, but I do want to point out that's been a very collaborative effort with people from the district. We've met 4 times, I believe, and we're moving that along and should hopefully have some final numbers once we get a lot of stuff from the state and everywhere else. Thank you.
Thanks, Shelley. Next, Curriculum and Instruction.
Thank you. We also met on May 9th. We approved some materials, the first of which was our mathematics materials adoption. These were for pre-calculus, calculus, trigonometry, and statistics. Those are coming forward to the board. It's interesting to note that Deb Prouse, the professional educator that was representing, noted that this would be one of the first times in a long time all of our materials would be coming from the same place, so following the same track. Those materials were all for view outside for the past month or so. We also approved an English language learners instructional materials. This came to us from Erin Joyce Miller, who's the ELL teacher at Beloit Memorial. These are for the Beloit Memorial students, although, again, it was interesting to note that they could also be used for new students in the intermediate schools. They sounded like really great textbooks, really broad and encompassing. We had no data reports, and Mr. Bonds, one day I'll get it right, gave us a report similar to what he did tonight. I would kind of like to invite people to be looking at our information on the district's website, and also, if anyone is interested, those focus groups and subcommittees will be starting up and starting their work soon. So if anyone's interested, thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Next is Policy and Personnel.
The Policy and Personnel Committee met on April 25th. We had a short meeting. We addressed the personnel recommendations, which was Exhibit A. On the Policy and Personnel Committee met on May 9th. There were a number of things that we addressed. Deidre Salas was appointed to be the labor liaison rep. Dr. Johnson will be the legislative liaison rep. We had a healthy discussion about our exit interview process. We decided to stick with our current exit interview process. Our human resource director made some changes to it, and so they're going to work on that for the next 6 months and come back with follow-up on if we need to continue or if we're going to go in a different direction. We also looked at policies for second read. We dealt with the policy dealing with the Robert's Rules of Order, Policy 181. We looked at Policy 522.8, which was the dress code for district employees. And we dealt with Policy 533, Rule 1, which deals with professional educator recruitment / selection procedures. Dr. Johnson gave a legislative update. He's keeping his hand on the pulse of things in Madison. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you very much. Next on the list, I'm looking for a motion for the consent list, including approval of minutes of previous meetings and approval of March financial summary.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, I'm looking for a motion for the mathematics instructional materials adoption for 2017-18.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. Next is, I'm looking for a motion for English language learners instructional materials adoption for 2017-18.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion.
I move that we consider D, E, and F together.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is, I'm looking for a motion for personnel recommendations.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Onward to discussion items. Are there any items of interest for consideration at future meetings?
Yes, could the administration give us an update on our Spanish services, the types of services we offer our Spanish community, in the direction they're going to go forward to be more, I don't want to say inclusive, to our services and any future ideas for that important population as well.
Anything else? I'd like to add one. I'd like to get an update on technology, kind of a year-end wrap-up. You know, I know there were some improvements in terms of access and iPad use. I'm looking for just, you know, discipline issues. How are we doing with educating kids on using it, not using it, all of those kinds of things? If you can just give me an update on that.
One more. Dr. Johnson, could you also have Jamie give us a 10-year historical review on the retiree health insurance program so that we'll know where we were at and where we're going to go?
Yes.
Thank you.
President Endres, if I may add to the item that you had, so in addition to getting information about iPad usage, I guess I would also want to know about what kind of professional development opportunities are offered to educators as they try to work with students in terms of keeping the distractions in classrooms down. Thank you.
Anybody else?
In that retirement history, Jamie, could you also include in there what employees gave up over those 10 years, each year?
Anybody else? All right, I'm going to move on to announcements of future board meetings. Graduation reminder, June 10th, 2017. Committee meetings will be June 13th, 2017, and include finance, transportation and property, curriculum and instruction, and policy and personnel. The next business meeting is June 27th, 2017. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.